Hey, 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 y'all. It's me, Jonah Renee, and I am back again, and I'm interviewing this time Ella Fior. And both Ella Fior and I have something in common. We both suffer from a disorder, if you will, called TMAU, or we think that it may be TMAU. I'm not sure if Ella had been tested for it before, but she'll share more with us about that soon. But it's a disorder and it causes you to suffer from bad breath or body odor. And it's because of the fact that your body lacks an enzyme, FMO3, to convert TMA into an odorless gas. And that's what most people have. Most people have this enzyme and it works efficiently to convert the TMA into an odorless gas, but we lack that enzyme, or at least we think we lack it. But many people do suffer from bad breath and body odor. It can either be from TMAU, it can be a cause of SIBO, Candida. There are just many different reasons why you can suffer from bad breath and body odor, but this is the reason why we think that maybe we suffer from it. I've never been tested for it. I'll let Ella get into it and tell us whether she's been tested for it or not. But she's 22 years old and she lives in New Jersey. And she suffered with this condition for over 8 years, but she was able to heal from this condition by changing her diet. So that's why I really wanted her to come on here and just speak to it because I was able to heal as well from bad breath by changing my diet to eating a high raw vegan diet. Without any further ado, we have Ella. So, Ella, if you could just talk to us a little bit more about the condition and different things that you suffered from while dealing with the conditions, maybe some things that you went through while dealing with the condition.
Yes. So I struggled with this condition around like after puberty. I started noticing that um I was producing odor. No matter how much I showered, no matter what I did, I would just always have like this odor to me. And it was really hard. I spent a lot of years just trying to find a reason why I was going through this, trying to find like the solutions for it. And turns out like what I was trying out at first only made the body odor worse. Like
Yeah.
at first I started switching soaps like and I just I was young and I was growing up and I was going through puberty and I didn't really know that you shouldn't be using just any type of soap on your
Hmm.
body, like for your lady parts. And
Yeah.
I just didn't know any of that. So I just started using everything because I was like, I need to get rid of this. Like I can't live with this. So I just started using just a whole bunch of soaps, like Summer's Eve, soaps with fragrances. I started just using perfumes, trying to cover up the smell, and that only made it worse. And I didn't know what was going on. I just thought that would help. And so throughout the years, growing up and doing my research, I found out that you shouldn't be using any fragrances on your lady parts. And yeah, I just started switching soaps. I started using like mild soaps, but then still realized that well, the odor was gone for some parts, but then I still noticed that there was still some odors behind, and so I figured out that it was not the soaps that I was using. It
Yeah.
was more of it was a deeper cause. It was something else, and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. First of all, let me just say thank you for your willingness to come in and share your story because it takes a lot of courage to speak out about this because it can be embarrassing because a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand that it's not anything that you have done. You know, it's a disorder that you have.
Hmm.
And a lot of people live with the embarrassment of it. We are in a community with other people as well that live with this disorder, and a lot of people remain anonymous because
Yeah.
of the disorder. They're very ashamed of it and they live a life of just torment pretty much because of the condition. And it really, really plays on your psyche.
Mm-hmm.
It really affects your social life as well. And it kind of causes you to just withdraw from
Yeah.
society and just, people don't understand. I guess the best example would be kind of what we dealt with COVID-19 and just not being able to, socialize with others. But it's COVID, but all of your life living with COVID, you're just kind of withdrawn from society. So it can be a very difficult disease to live with or disorder to live with. And I just want to say also, it's a confusing disorder to live with as well because some people notice and can detect the smell or the odor, others can't. And so a lot of people go to the doctor, like I'd been to the doctor many times and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. And the doctor will say, there's nothing wrong with you. I can't
Yeah.
detect anything wrong with you, which leads a lot of people to think that, they have a mental disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctors will say, well, maybe I can prescribe you something to, go see a psychiatrist, or maybe, you have a mental disorder. But what really helped me to know that, okay, no, I'm not going crazy is I work with children, and children are so honest, so brutally honest. And children, and what I
Yeah.
really found too, I will say, is that you really get to know people and you'll see the character of people by dealing with this disorder. And I noticed that children who were, didn't have any problems at home, they would never make mention of it. But children who suffered or had problems going at home, those are the ones that would say something to you like, you smell.
Yeah.
But I've noticed it in adults as well. You
Yes.
really just, it shows you someone's true character dealing with this disorder. And you'll see people who just don't have any self-love, honestly, is what it boils down to. Hurt people. So they
Yeah.
take their pain out on you is what I've really come to see with this disorder. But I can see that you see that as well. But
Yeah.
I'm still thankful that you're able to open up and share because it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of you being vulnerable. And that takes a lot of courage as well. A lot of people don't have that ability. So thank you so much for just being able to open up because that's healing as well. That's part of the healing process. It's just being able to open up and share because it helps you and then it's also helping others as
Yes.
well. So,
Yes.
yes, thank you so much for joining and just being
Thank
able to
you.
open up and share. Yeah, I appreciate
Thank you
that.
for creating a platform for this.
Yeah, I just really want people to be able to heal and people just to know that you don't have to be ashamed of this and
Mhm.
that you can heal from this.
That you,
So,
yes, you can.
yeah, yeah. So, what led you to have the notion that, okay, maybe if I change my diet, then that would help?
Okay, so after me trying everything that I can, I tried everything. Seriously, I feel like I tried almost everything. And then I noticed like I think it's my diet because it was just there's just no way that I'm showering this much that I shower really well. Like I would be in the shower for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, sometimes even an hour, just double washing, making sure I'm extra clean. And even then there was still an odor. So I was like, it's not how I clean myself because I clean myself very well.
Yeah,
So then I started thinking, what if it's my diet? That's the only thing that made sense to me because nothing else made sense. So that's when I noticed, like, yes, it's what I eat that's making me smell this way. And so sometimes when I would eat certain things, like certain foods, I've noticed that like my odor would be worse. I would get more reactions.
hmm,
And when I noticed that when I would change my diet and I would eat healthier and I would eat healthier things, I noticed there was less reaction. So I was like, okay, so maybe if I change my diet, if I change what I eat, if I start eating healthier, cleaner foods, then there will be no odor. So that's how I started. So I did 1 month. I remember I did 1 month of, I said, I'm going to try the raw vegan diet. That's when I very first found out about it. I said, I'm going to try it for 1 month. Did it. After a couple of days, I started noticing changes in my body, my even my mental health. I started feeling better. I was more energized. I started just making juices at home. I bought a juicer. I started making juices. I started eating more salads. I was just eating straight raw foods for like about 10, I'm not even sure the time frame, but I just noticed a change in it, and I noticed that the order was gone, and then I noticed like, wow, so it was the food that was
Yeah.
causing this. And then
Yeah.
that gave me hope to just keep going and keep going. But then I did fall back again to the American diet, and I started eating junk food again because sometimes, like a lot of times, I noticed that I would overeat a lot. Um I use food as like
It's an addiction. It's, a lot of times we use food to suppress our emotions. A lot of people do it, and we just don't realize that that's what we're doing. But that's
mhm,
exactly what we're doing. And that's why it's so hard to eat this way, is because food is just like,
it's
it's a
a
drug
comfort.
for us. Yes, it's a
Yes.
comfort, but it serves as a drug too. And
Uh,
it just really numbs us. It numbs us out. So a lot of times, when people have a stressful day, they're like, oh,
mhm.
I'm so stressed out. What's the first thing they do? They're just like, they go and they
Eat.
eat. And
Yeah.
then they feel better, for the moment or whatever, because it's a drug. It numbs you out. And people don't realize, that food can be a drug. So, but it
Yeah.
really goes down to healing yourself emotionally. And that's why a lot of people aren't able to eat this way. They find it so difficult to stick to this diet and eat this way. It's because they have to heal themselves emotionally,
Emotionally. Absolutely.
before they are able to eat this way. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to get to the root cause. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, that's something that I definitely struggle with a lot, was just overeating, using food to comfort me, especially like when days and when I had like when I was just feeling just drained, I was feeling tired of having dealing with this condition. I would just go to food and I would just eat, 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 binge eat. And that only made it worse. I only made it worse. And then
Yeah.
I would only get more depressed and more sad. And then I would just eat more. And then I would just be in that constant like pattern and that
It's in
toxic
a
pattern
loop.
would just keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a struggle for most people that deal with this. It's just like food is your comfort. That's all growing up. That's how we
Yeah.
grew up, family functions and stuff. You eat, when you get sick, people feed you. People always want to feed you. When you're grieving, people feed you. Like
Mm-hmm.
food is just, that's how it's used. It's used to bring people
Yes.
together, but it's used to comfort you. But that's not how it really should be used. It should be used as an energy source. That's how we really should be using food, but we don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's how we've been trained and taught all of our lives. So yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
Um, so what was the craziest experience that you've ever had dealing with this disorder, if you don't mind sharing?
Wow. The craziest experience.
Or something that someone said to you or done?
Um, I had this experience at a job. Oh my gosh, this hurt me really bad. Like it didn't hurt me because I know like okay, people are already thinking that anyway, but it's like for them to say it to you to your face, it kind of just
Yeah.
like okay, like it touched me a little bit. So it was a time I was at work. I was at a new job and it was like my third, fourth, it was like my first week there. I was really new. And it was at the end of the shift, a coworker made a joke or something, and then they told me, "Oh, you smell." She said they said you stink or something, and then that made me feel like, wow, I didn't even know what to say because nobody had
Yeah.
ever like really like told me to my face like that, like just boldly. So that just really, it just really did something in me.
Yeah. In that moment, how did you react? Because a lot of times when we have trauma, we have like different responses for it. You can either fight, you can flight, which means you just take off and you leave. You can freeze in the moment, like a deer in headlights, or you can fawn. You can try to make the person feel better, even though they're the one that did you wrong. You can try to say things to kind of comfort them or kind of just glaze over the situation. Like in that moment, what did you do? Do you remember what you
I
did?
sorry.
Do you remember?
Um, well, yeah, and I really didn't say much. I just kind of like brushed it off. I kind of just laughed it off, like, like just kind of just laughed it off and just kept going about my day. But when I went home, it just stayed in my head. It just kept playing in my head for like the rest of the week. Oh, and yeah, it really made me feel like I felt it. I was sad. It did make me sad because wow, I gotta see the coworkers' face every day, and
Yeah, which is crazy because, that can be people's livelihood. And a lot of people have a difficult time working or going to work or just living a normal life because of the condition and because of the things that people say to them. And it kind of, you get to the situation
yeah,
where people making remarks. You don't want to go to work, but you have to go to work in order to live. So it's kind of you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. It's like, what do you do? So
yeah.
yeah, I've been there before too. I remember my very first encounter with a person, just making a remark to me or saying anything. And I always find it funny that, no one has ever said anything to me just face to face, just alone. It's always within a group setting, it's always with someone else, but nobody's ever had the courage to confront
Mm,
me just like one on one.
right.
But I had just started working. I moved to Atlanta and I was working as a teacher. And well, it was like one of my first jobs teaching, and it was actually at a pre-K that went up to kindergarten. It went up to first grade. So I was teaching kindergarten, first grade combined classroom. And there were like, I was leaving out, and there was a group of teachers that they were talking, the pre-K teachers were talking, and I was leaving out to go home. And one of the teachers was like, "Oh, tell me about." She was like, "Oh, I went to." She stopped me. She said, "I went to Maggiano's last night," and she said, "I got some peppermints. Do you want a peppermint?" And I was like, okay.
Mhm.
And so in that situation, I just froze. I didn't know what to say. It was the first time someone had ever said something to me like that before. Like I knew that, I kind of suffered from the condition, but just to have someone bring it to my awareness and be bold enough to say something, but not just, in front of other people as well. I kind of just
Yeah,
froze in the situation, didn't necessarily know how to handle it in that moment. And so, yeah, I just left. I just walked off, and that's one of my trauma responses. When I'm faced with something, I freeze
yeah,
in the moment, and then I'm out, like freeze in flight. So, but yeah, it can be a difficult situation to deal with for sure. But like we were saying before, it just really speaks to people's character and how they treat you.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that just really shows a lot about that person, what that person is going through. So I have found that people that treat you this kind of way, they have a lot of internal struggles that they're dealing with. And that's why they do treat you that way. So it just
yeah,
shows you who people really are. Yeah.
yeah. I
Thank
guess
you
that's
for
like the
sharing that.
yeah. Thank you.
It's
I
not
guess it's like
easy.
the positive. I guess the positive thing about this condition, is that you do get to see people's true character and
Mhm.
how they treat you, type of person they are. So yeah, that's something I
Yeah,
definitely learned from this condition.
for sure. Um, So you said that you were able to heal by juicing and eating a raw vegan diet. After going raw vegan, did you notice any other changes within yourself?
Yes. Like I said, I noticed a big difference in my mental health. Thought I could think clearer. I had more energy. There would be times where I would just like I would have so much energy. I will be up at like 2 in the morning still, like up and energized. Like I didn't want to I had a hard time going to sleep.
Hmm.
Um yeah, just my skin getting clearer. Um
A lot of people
yeah,
say that when they go raw vegan, that they don't require as much sleep.
yeah, that's
What I've
true.
heard. It hasn't been true for me as of yet, but a lot of people do say that. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good plus. Did you ever know, have you noticed or been able to appreciate a spiritual connection? Like maybe you're more connected to God?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I already before I had it's funny before I had ever tried the raw vegan diet, I like a few months, well not a few months, but weeks prior to that, I had um re-given my life back to Christ. I was just going through a whole lot, and I remember one time I just said, God, just I don't know what to do. I can't do it on my own. So I'm gonna need you to guide me. And then from there on, I bought my first Bible, and then I started reading the Bible again, started tapping in with God again. And that's when I tapped in with with the raw vegan. That's when I learned about the raw vegan. And I feel like that was God. Like that was literally
Yeah.
God guiding me throughout all of this. So even now I'm so deeply grateful to God for what he did. Like, yes, I had to go through all of that to get to here, and it's been amazing. Do feel a
Yeah.
whole lot closer to God, a whole lot closer to nature. Um, and
Mhm.
I'm just really grateful.
Oh, that's a blessing. I get goosebumps from hearing you tell your story. I just have goosebumps. But yeah, I had a similar experience and I suffered for over 20 years with it, but I think life is all about lessons and learning lessons and learning from those lessons, healing, and then helping others to heal too, because I think that that's what we are supposed to do is really what we are here to do to help others out, to love others and help others out in this journey too. But like for 2 years, like you said, I had been praying about it, and for 2 years, God had been leading me to do a juice fast. And I just never did it. I didn't do it. And God was pointing me in the direction of being raw vegan. And he just really put it on my heart to, okay, you need to be raw vegan, raw vegan, raw vegan, raw vegan. And I was like, why? Like he was like, this is the answer to your problem.
Yes,
It's kind of what he was telling me, but I wasn't picking up on
yes.
it. So for 2 years, I didn't do it. And finally I was just at my wit's end and I was like, I'm gonna do it. And actually, I did it because I had no idea that this would help me with the condition. I just did it because God had just really put it on my heart to do it, but it just really changed my life in so many ways. It was just insane how much, just changing your diet can change your life. So yeah, I definitely feel more connected to God. I definitely hear from him more. I've had so many spiritual experiences that I can't even just really begin to explain. Um, but yeah, it definitely is life changing,
Yeah.
eating this way for sure.
Yeah. I kind of had the same similar experience too, where God was showed me the solution. He said, "This is the solution to your problem." Because I kept praying to God, like, God, you see what I'm going through. Like, I need help. I need help with this. This has been holding me back a lot. Um, and so I kept praying to God. I kept searching God. I kept searching him. And he told me, no, I already gave you the solution. This is the solution. But I didn't want to, I was
Yeah.
one foot in and one foot out because I was still
Mhm.
attached. I was still emotionally attached to food. Um, so he just kept showing me like, okay, this is the solution. This is the solution. And then after so many times of me going through the same experiences and getting the same results, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done trying in my own way. I have to do it this way. Like, so that's when I really started to commit to it again.
Yeah.
Because I noticed like,
So
sorry, what I was doing before, I kept noticing like you keep doing the same thing, you keep eating the same foods, and you're still getting the same results. So something's got to change.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a blessing that you are at your age and that you're doing this. So you just have your whole life pretty much ahead of you. Yeah. A lot of people feel like that they don't have a life, and they live their life indoors and they just feel sorry for themselves. And so I think that's a big part of it too. It's just to learn that you're not a victim because a lot of times we get into that victim mentality and you just really have to get past that victim mentality and just want to actually do something to help yourself and to heal
Yeah.
yourself. So I think that that's huge that people don't necessarily realize. So for you to get that, that's huge.
Mhm.
Um, was there any food that you just really struggled with giving up? It was just so hard for you to just let go of, or
Uh,
even to this day?
well, to this day, I feel like I'm at a point now where I have no attachments to the foods that I used to eat in the past because they no longer serve me.
Yeah.
I kind of started asking myself, like, I know you love this food, like especially pizza. I'm a pizza girl. I love pizza. I love pizza. I love dairy. I love cheese. But then I started asking myself, I know you love this food, but does this food love you? I
Hmm.
heard this quote from somewhere else to ask yourself that question. You love this food, but does it love you back? Is it
Yeah. Yeah.
nourishing your body? And I started asking myself that question. And so I started putting foods that loved me back into my body.
Yeah, yeah. That's what self-love is about. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And then, is there anything else that keeps you motivated to eat this way other than the body odor? Um,
Um, well, it feels, I love the feeling that I'm feeling right now. Like I just feel free to do anything. I feel free. I feel like I like I've been in prison for so long, and now that I'm free and now that I'm finally getting to experience life and to do things that I wanted to do before, feeling free, it feels great. And that
yeah.
feeling does keep me going because I'm able to do everything that I was scared to do in the past.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
also, like every day, I feel like I'm elevating every day. Like when I'm eating like the raw fruits, the living foods, I feel like I'm getting better every day. I'm getting closer to that. I'm getting closer to the person that God wants me to be. And
Yeah.
also being a help for other people, being an outlet also is one of the biggest things that keeps me going as well. I always wanted to help people in some kind of way. And I feel like I'm like this lifestyle is giving me purpose in a way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It just help you to really start to walk in your purpose and shows you and directs you into the direction of your purpose for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes I think to myself, like maybe I did have to go through this, even though it was terrible. It was terrible going through it. Um, but in a way now I look back and think to myself like, well, what if this is what I needed to get to where God needs me to be, to get to my highest self.
Yeah, 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 for sure. I don't think that I would be on the journey that I'm currently on if I hadn't had this condition, honestly. It definitely humbles you.
Uh-huh.
It definitely
It
humbles
definitely
you, and it
does.
definitely did that for me. I was never an arrogant person, but it just really humbles you, and it just really
Hmm.
helps you to put things into perspective and see things for, I guess, what they really are. So that's that's
Yeah.
that's what I got from this, and just to see what life really is about. You know, life is just really about loving and helping out others. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm thankful, even though I do feel like, a lot of years of my life, yeah, I still live life, but, I just think that I could have lived a better life, but I'm still thankful that I did, have this experience, honestly, because it just taught me so much about people, so much about life. And it got me to where I am now. And just to speak to what you were saying, you definitely do just have this um unexplicable peace about you when you start to eat this way. You just have a peace. I can't
Yeah.
explain it, but you're just peaceful. um you're just happy. I've never experienced happiness like this before, but I just feel happy. Just and my son will say, "What is wrong with you? Why are you walking around with a smile on your face?" He's like, "You look weird and creepy." And I'm just like, "I'm just happy. Like, how do you want me to look?"
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny that, yeah, you definitely do have a peace and a sense of joy about you for sure.
Oh my
Well,
God.
thank you so much for doing this interview. I definitely know that it's going to help and bless so many people. You have such a beautiful spirit, Ella. Beautiful spirit, and you're so wise beyond your years, honestly. I don't think that I have that much wisdom at 22 years old, to be honest. So, yeah,
All
just
glory
keep
to
doing what you're doing and helping others out. I can't just wait to see what God has in store for you because I know He has some great things in store for you. So, thank you so much
God.
for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me on here and for just being an outlet, using your platform to help other people. I really love what you're doing. And
Oh, thank you. I'm just happy to be a part of other people's journey and help them to heal the way that God helped me to heal. It's just such a blessing. So, yeah, I'm thankful for this opportunity.